Member from Newmarket, Aurora.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Health. The Minister of Health has agreed to support the establishment of
You're heckling your own member.
If it is the will of the legislature. The PC caucus and the NDP caucus expressed their will more than a week ago in a joint press conference. Now, we continue to hear from frontline paramedics and dispatchers and people in administration at Ornge that because senior managers are still in charge there, nothing has changed. They want to come forward. They want to give us information about how we can restore confidence in Ontario's air ambulance service. I would like to know from the Minister, when can we expect to have a motion tabled that will establish a select committee of the legislature?
Thank you. Minister of Health.
Speaker, it's very clear that the issue of Ornge is one that is of significant interest to the people of this legislature. There will be several opportunities, Speaker, for members of this legislature to have much by way of conversation about Ornge. We will be introducing legislation, Speaker, that will bring enhanced transparency and accountability and oversight to Ornge, Speaker. That, of course, will go to committee. The Auditor General, Speaker, will be releasing his report shortly. In fact, I have asked him, I've exercised Section 17 of the Auditor General Act, and I'm asking him to table that as quickly as possible. I fully expect members of the legislature will want to examine that as well, Speaker. We believe in transparency. We believe that sunshine is the best disinfectant, Speaker. The members of this legislature will have ample opportunity to talk about Ornge.
Supplementary.
Speaker, we don't want to have a conversation about Ornge. We want to have a select committee so that we can get to the bottom of what that issue is. Frontline employees at Ornge are getting more frustrated by the day, and it's precisely because of the kind of rhetoric that we're hearing from the minister today. They hear the minister quoting CVs of board members. They see the minister condoning the ongoing work of front-line senior managers whose fingerprints are all over the mess at Ornge. Patients are still at risk on a daily basis because the minister refuses to act. Here's from an email this morning from an employee. I look forward to seeing an all-party select committee concerning Ornge. I have information that will shed some light on the mindset of personnel at the head office. Speaker, why can't the minister understand how important that select committee is and that we have to get to the bottom of it? And why will the government not tell us what she promised?
Minister of Health. Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Minister of Health.
Speaker, I think it's very important that we let those objective reviews take place, Speaker. The OPP is engaged in an investigation about some of the allegations at Ornge. The Auditor General, Speaker. My focus is on moving forward. My focus is on fixing the problems at Ornge. We are taking important, significant steps, Speaker, in that regard, and frontline staff tell me that they can see a tangible difference in the quality of care that they are allowed to deliver now at Ornge, Speaker. It's important that we continue to make progress at Ornge. Part of that is a new performance agreement. Part of that is new legislation. I'm sure the member opposite will have a lot to say when that legislation is introduced, and I look forward to hearing what he has to say, what he and other members have to say about this legislation.
Thank you. Aurora.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, no one is more disappointed at the minister's hands-off attitude at Ornge than the frontline paramedics and pilots and dispatchers, the people who work there. To the Minister of Health.
Thank you.
No one is more disappointed in the minister's attitude. She refers to the Auditor General's report. She refers to police investigations. She refers to legislation that she'll bring forward. None of that has anything to do with our request for a select committee. Those can take place in parallel. I point the minister to the Gomery investigation which had an RCMP investigation going on in parallel. I say to the minister now, allow those things to take place, but express some urgency at what is going on at Ornge. Allow those employees to come forward and testify and bring forward.
I remind the member to please adhere to what I requested. Mr. Vell.
Speaker, I absolutely have a sense of urgency. That's why I've taken the very significant steps that I have taken, Speaker, to clean up what we found at Ornge, Speaker. That's why I called in a forensic audit team. That's an extraordinary step, Speaker. That is very rarely taken. Speaker, I referred this matter to the Ontario Provincial Police. They are doing an investigation. Speaker, that reflects the urgency of the situation. We have replaced the entire board of directors with a very high-caliber board of very competent people, Speaker, who take their responsibility to the public very, very seriously. We have replaced the CEO, Speaker. There are many changes that have already been made at Ornge, and there will be more changes, Speaker.
Answer.
We are driving forward with a new performance agreement and, Speaker, with new legislation.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Speaker, what we see across the way here from the minister, as well as from the Premier, who has refused to answer even the most basic of questions about this important issue. What we see is simply a waste of time while patients continue to be at risk, according to information we have from front-line medics, from front-line pilots, and from front-line administrators at Ornge. Speaker, if the Premier and the Minister refuse to show leadership on this issue and bring forward a motion, we will show leadership on this issue. We will table our motion by 5 o'clock this evening to ensure that this House has an opportunity to express its will on that issue.
Speaker, I think that the people of this province expect me to take my responsibility as Minister of Health and Long-Term Care very, very seriously. I do take that responsibility seriously, Speaker, and that is why I have taken the very unusual steps that I have taken at Ornge. We are moving forward, Speaker, with new legislation. We're moving forward with a new performance agreement. We have the right board speaker in place. Barry McClellan is heading up their safety, the safety committee, Speaker. Patient safety is the #1 issue. Winding down the for-profit, Speaker, is underway. We are addressing the fiscal challenges and fiscal irregularities, Speaker. We also need to remind all people who work in healthcare, Speaker, that they have a fundamental responsibility to the people of this province. They must never, ever lose sight of their responsibility to the people that they are there to serve.
Thank you.